Subscribe, hype, like, click the notification bell and turn on all notifications. And donate with a super thanks donation in the comments section below for the unfiltered, unapologetic SeanzViewEnt, your home for WWE news, rumors, and backstage chaos. This is where gossip gets exposed around the clock. Now, here's your host, the brash SeanzViewEnt.
We are just hours away before the Red Brand Monday Night Raw on Netflix on a Monday night. Is Raw going to be the sizzle, or is it going to be the sizzling crab as we all know it to be usually, quite frankly? But ladies and gentlemen, talking about the King of the Ring, we're going to have other matches. We're going to have other stars advancing. We're going to have progressing. But my question going into this video, is the King of the Ring absolutely dead? Viewers, fans, and subscribers, because we have a pivotal update on the King of the Ring tournament, its fate and its future, and what this all means, because we could very well be talking about the death of the King of the Ring, and I'm going to bring up to you exactly what I mean by that, and you're going to see that by the middle or towards the end of this video why I'm telling you that the King of the Ring, guys, may be all but dread and dead, especially with the way that this tournament's going, the way that it's looking, the way that it's being problematic. There's a lot of issues with it. There's a lot of chaos. Not going the way that a lot of fans were hoping, were wondering it was going to go. But viewers, fans, subscribers, we are here to give you the flow of this show. Because as we are talking about this, remember Lex Luger, the USS Intrepid, where he body slammed the mighty Yokozuna. Remember that when Lex Luger stepped up to the plate? Well, I'm talking about that one because an Air Force B-52 bomber crashes after takeoff at the Edwards Air Force Base in California. Yes, we're hearing that right now. That is crucial developments here on Sean's View Entertainment, where we bring you into the know on the hottest, the latest, the greatest. And what did you think about WWE's Roman Reigns, the Game Triple H, at the UFC White House event last night, Donald Trump's birthday? It was all going on at the same damn time. But ladies and gentlemen, why I'm talking about the death of the King of the Ring, I'm not just talking about the issues or the lack of creative or the matches that we should be getting out of the King of the Ring tournament, but the matches that we actually aren't getting in the King of the Ring tournament. And ladies and gentlemen, we're going to reveal that right here and right now. But at the same time, AJ Lee has revealed her next venture in the WWE, and it would appear as if Drew McIntyre, we got breaking news on Drew McIntyre. It looks like Drew McIntyre, but this can change. Okay, as we all know in the WWE, things can change 110 times before. This is why we do multiple videos a day, to keep you in the know and keep you ahead of the curve of all the latest WWE news, wrestling headlines, and breaking news in World Wrestling Entertainment. AJ Lee's return will be covered on the next season of WWE Unreal. The balance of acting and trying to fit two careers into one life has been interesting. I spent the last 10 months as AJ Lee, the former Divas champion. I spent the last 10 months, 8 months on Raw on Netflix. I'm going to be doing WWE Unreal, the documentary series for WWE, and then I'm still writing and producing. AJ Lee last appeared on WWE programming at WrestleMania 42, where she lost the Women's Intercontinental title to Becky Lynch. Well, ladies and gentlemen, speaking about losing something, the WWE just lost something very prominent. The WWE just lost something major themselves, guys, without a shadow of a doubt. Viewers, fans, and subscribers with this B-52 bomber, and again, our thoughts on our prayers go out. Hopefully everyone's good and fine and well after that. But we are receiving word right now, guys. A legend has died. Is no longer with us, viewers. It's a very sad state of affairs. We did not anticipate this. We did not expect this. It's certainly during the King of the Ring. Ladies and gentlemen, the Boston radio legend who came up with the WWE's King of the Ring tournament, the concept, has died. Eddie Andelman dies today. His son Dave, Mike, and Dan announced his death on Monday, just hours before Monday Night Raw. Boston knew Andelman as a sports radio giant, but wrestling fans knew him as, and his name for something much bigger than a microphone. He was the man behind the King of the Ring. He was not a wrestler, but he was not a promoter. He was a Boston media powerhouse who knew the McMahon family had an idea that turned into one of WWE's most famous tournament concepts. The first King of the Ring took place in 1985 at the Sullivan Stadium in Foxborough, Massachusetts. At that time was owned of the land there, and he teamed with Vince McMahon to make the event happen. The tournament started as a charity show, Money from the event went to children's nonprofits, including causes tied to cystic fibrosis and pediatric cancer. This was a major supporter of the Joey Fund and the Jimmy Fund, and the King of the Ring became one of the biggest charity plays. The King of the Ring later became a major WWE event, and even now in 2026, it is going to be, hopefully, well, it's just where the King of the Ring is going to die, guys, because, again, the creator, the visionary behind the King of the Ring has passed away, has died, is no longer with us. But it started as an untelevised tournament in Massachusetts. Don Morocco was the first tournament, and he won the first tournament in 1985. Harley Race won the 1986 version. Also, the creator, who also worked with the AWA in 1985 for Wrestling for a Cure charity event, so his wrestling connection did not stop with the WWE. He also became a big name in Boston food culture. He may not have been a part of WWE every week, but his idea stuck around for decades. King of the Ring created legends, crowned stars, and future world champions, and became a piece of WWE history because one of Boston radio icon wanting to do something original. What do you think about Eddie Andelman's creating the WWE King of the Ring? Drop your thoughts in the comment section below, because without you, there is no SeanzView, and without Eddie coming up with this concept and the idea and coming up with how to construct it and how it would go. And, you know, what I really miss, though, is I miss the one-night King of the Ring. I miss it as a whole pay-per-view event. Now the WWE just runs it as 1 or 2 matches on a pay-per-view, and then they crown the king and the queen of the ring. Obviously, now it's not so much more about the King of the Ring tournament as much as it is about going to Saudi Arabia, going to these different countries, doing to these different continents, going outside the United States. And the WWE, you know, the King of the Ring just isn't what it used to be. Listen, I'm glad. Listen, we asked as fans for years and years and years. We asked as fans, bring back the King of the Ring. Well, yeah, the WWE brought it back, all right, but it just wasn't the same. It just doesn't feel the same. It didn't look the same. And again, it's a nostalgia act. It's something good. It's something cool. It's something interesting. But it just doesn't feel the same like it did. Now, who do you want to see? Now, Dominic Mysterio, Obafemi tonight, you already know who's going to win that one. But do you really know who's going to win that one? Or will there be interjection? Will there be interference? Will there be controversy? Will Dominic Mysterio win by a countout? Maybe a disqualification? Who knows what the hell could happen during the King of the Ring tonight? Because it's all about who will go to the finals. Who will be going to SummerSlam for a shot at the undisputed WWE Championship? And ladies and gentlemen, it could be Jey Uso. It could be Javon Evans. It should be L.A. Knight. Yeah, it should be L.A. Knight. And then everything would be all right. But as we know, there's nothing all right with the King of the Ring. Because a lot of your favorites may have already been, well, subject to losing. They're already out of the tournament. They're done. They're gone. Didn't even get to see really the light of day of this tournament. So again, our thoughts on our prayers go out to the creator behind the King of the Ring, 89 years of age. And again, viewers, fans, and subscribers, without him, there would be no Bret Hart as the King of the Ring. Without him, there would be no Stone Cold Steve Austin going off in the stratosphere and having one of the greatest runs of his entire life. Also, WWE, Liv Morgan, the accused Liv Morgan stalker found not guilty by insanity. Also, Vampiro comes out of retirement for a surprise match after travel mess. Stephanie McMahon status for June Raw tonight, the 15th, in Baltimore amid her injury absence. Now, again, the WWE can always change things. They can always go in a different direction. But at this stage, at this time, it would appear as if Stephanie McMahon will indeed, well, I can't say indeed 100%. Okay, that would not be right. But by rumor and gossip, she could very well make an appearance tonight on Raw. Whether or not that happens, Stephanie McMahon is getting closer to a WWE return, but fans shouldn't expect her as a pop-up on Monday Night Raw just yet. Also, Matt Riddle admits John Cena made him eat his words after years of hating on him, and Paul Walter Hauser explains why he went after Roman Reigns over a White House UFC event. Also, Izzy Dame declares life is better in a bikini with a new beach photo drop. Also, ex-WWE star Matt Riddle reveals conditions for a return to MMA. Well, I'll tell you what right now. President Trump removes Josh Huckett chain after Michelle Obama comment. New video shows. Again, President Trump removes Josh Huckett chain after Michelle Obama comment on new video shown, according to TMZ. And we're bringing up President Trump because he's a WWE Hall of Famer. He's in the WWE. He's hosted WrestleMania, Trump Plaza. So, of course, we got to bring up Donald Trump. Also, Blake Monroe channels Pretty Woman with pink Range Rover flex. Also, Rusev calls Chad Gable an Olympic failure before calling Rey Mysterio a bad father. Also, there is a feeling that the original WCW Nitro grill sign recently, now it's confirmed, guys. It was a rumor, it was gossip. Original WCW Nitro grill sign recently purchased. The original WCW Nitro grill sign is still alive, and it was recently purchased by a friend of former WWE star, The Godfather. So WCW still lives. With Amazing Red coming back to TNA, the company is not being quiet about it, as TNA Wrestling announced via Twitter on June 15, 2026, that this former TNA star is returning at Slammiversary. Also, Danhausen has been invited to the Knicks parade after NBA championship win. Your thoughts, your comments, and your opinions on all of that. The Rock reveals Maui was inspiration by his grandfather, High Chief Peter Maivia. Also, viewers, fans, and subscribers, at this hour and at this time, we are receiving word, according to the dirt sheets, the websites, and the newsletters. We are receiving word right now of this breaking news, this major announcement, this cataclysmic announcement. Is the old guard fading? Is the McMahon legacy under question? TKO, again, Shane McMahon last night, guys. I want to bring this up to you right now. Shane McMahon was at the UFC White House event last night. Now, is TKO pushing WWE into a new corporate universe? And Shane McMahon, after being saw and seen and highlighted at the UFC event last night, White House, Shane McMahon may be trying to make sure the family name still has one major chapter left. When people hear Monday Night Raw, they think about WWE's flagship identity. Because when people hear the King of the Ring, they think about WWE history. And when people hear Shane McMahon, they think about the family that used to control it all. So now the entire story feels bigger. It is not just Shane versus TKO. It is WWE history versus WWE's future. It is the fate colliding with the corporate present. And the question becomes, who controls the next era of WWE? The company's new owners or the family legacy that built the empire in the first place? And that brings us back to Monday Night Raw, because if there is one WWE property that represents that fight between the past and the present, it is Raw. Your thoughts, your comments, your opinions, and your feelings on all of that, because we just dropped it on to you, because this is the foundation where we brew it up to you each and every day, multiple times a day, because we truly do believe in the viewers, the fans, and the subscribers that make this show what it is. And ladies and gentlemen, that may have just been your main event, your main topic of this very video. Ladies and gentlemen, for more SeanzViewEnt, you got to clash with the brash, because this is the best, the fastest, the hottest, latest, the most detailed in WWE news and rumors. We are going to be willing and able. Subscribe.